Hi, my name is Jeff, and I'll be going over how to control your college destiny. On our agenda today, we're going to be going over how to learn effective study skills, how to be self-advocate for yourself, and how to stay positive and hopeful, and also how to use the Learning Commons virtual services. First, a brainstorming activity. Can anyone list a few things that will help you be successful in school? Some of the things we thought up is reading the syllabus, sleeping, but not during class, asking for help, participating in class, and thinking positively. Next up is study skills. The first thing with study skills is finding your location. Location is very important when it comes to studying, and knowing where to study and when you want to study is always a helpful task. I can't tell you where the best place to study is. For me, it's in my office when I have metal blasting and I have all my animals out of the room. For other people, it's a quiet corner in a library. Other people, it's the corner of a Starbucks, if you could get into one right now. Next up is organization. The last thing you want when you go to study is having a pile of paper and not being able to find the paper, the notes, the homework that you need to find to study. Organizing everything in a manner that will help you find it quicker will definitely help in aiding your studying. Putting things in folders, or if you're using a computer, naming your files in ways to help better organize them will help you find the information you need when you want to study. Next step is time management. Managing your time is very important when it comes to studying because you don't want to overstudy. If you study too much at one time, you're more than likely to overstress your brain and you'll forget some of the things you may have studied at the beginning of your study session. A good way to go about it is studying for 2 hours and then taking a break. This will give your brain time to process the information you learned before you go back to study some more. And when it comes to organizing your time, you can use a planner or a calendar. Whether it's paper or electronic, both are good ways to organize and manage your time. I use a Google Calendar, and at the beginning of the semester, what I do is I take the syllabus and I write down all the due dates I have, anywhere a test would be, and any off times. So I can plan ahead of when I want to get things done and when I need to study. Test anxiety is a major thing in college. A lot of people have it. It's nothing to be afraid of. There are a number of ways we here at the college can help you with your test anxiety. The Center for Access and Accommodation is a great group of people who will help you find accommodations to overcome your test anxiety. One good way of studying is learning how to take good notes. The Cornell Notes is a great method where you would divide your paper in half. On one side, you'll put down your keywords and key questions, while on the other side, you want to put down your key ideas, important dates, people, places, diagrams and pictures, any formulas, and anything your teacher stresses. If your teacher repeats it once, you can guess it might be on the test. If they repeat it more than that, I can guarantee you it's most likely going to be on the test. And at the very bottom of the page, you just want to summarize your notes in your own words so that you can read it and understand what you were thinking when you were taking the notes. Next up is learning how to read a textbook. Textbooks are awfully large and have a lot of information in them. Some of the information you may or may not need to know. So learning how to read a textbook will help you understand the material it is presenting. First off, we want to look at our chapter objectives. And after reading them, we want to think of, after studying this chapter, what will I be able to do? And we want to think of these goals as we read, possibly even having them written down on a piece of paper next to our textbook so we can reference them quicker. It allows us to skim past the information we don't need to know and then focus more on the information we do need to know. And when it comes to textbooks, highlighting is an important thing, but don't highlight large sections. All that does is make it so that you have to reread the information so that you can figure out why you highlighted it in the first place. Flashcards are a great way of studying. You can put your words or vocab formulas on one side. On the other side, you can do their meaning or what the formula is used for. It's a great way for studying. It's not for everyone, but I'd say maybe give it a try at least. See if it works for you, and if it doesn't, move on to another study skill. One of the biggest downfalls to all adults, not just college students, is procrastination. Leaving something off for later only causes you more stress when later eventually does come. Doing things earlier and sooner will help you get rid of that stress, especially if it's a large project. Taking 10 minutes out of a day or even 20 minutes out of a week, doing small tasks, small project assignments, just doing it one step at a time will help prevent that final rush of I need to get this done, it's due tomorrow, I need to power through this. And if you ever have a question of when something is due, what project is coming up, or what are we going to study about next, the answer is probably in your syllabus. Self-advocacy. What is self-advocacy? Self-advocacy is being able to speak up for yourself when you need help. It does take a lot of courage to ask for help, but everyone needs help at some point in time in their life. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Even if it is just introducing yourself to the people who can help you, like us at the Learning Commons, saying, hey, I don't need help right now, but I want to say hi and introduce myself so when you do need help, you can come to us and you're already somewhat familiar with us. And if you remember back on the syllabus, your teacher has probably given you ways to contact them. Whether it's an email, it's virtual office hours. Don't feel afraid to reach out to your professor and say, hey, I need some help on this assignment. And when you do go to email your teacher, you don't want it to look like this email. The subject is very vague and rude. It's in all caps and doesn't really state anything. The heading is just, hey teacher, and it's in all caps. It's like you're screaming at the professor. And then the email altogether has a bad style, bad grammar everywhere, there's misspellings, and it looks relatively unprofessional. Unlike this email, which has a very clear subject, extension on English Journal number 4, a very formal greeting, and the subject, it's very brief, to the point, and specific of what you need help with, and it's very professional. And if you see at the bottom of the email there, it says English Composition 1101-007. That is very useful for the teacher because it allows them to know exactly which class of theirs you are in. because that teacher may or may not be teaching a number of sections for the same subject. Each one may be at a different pace. So going over and stating which class you're in will help them find the information they need to give you help. One of the best resources for yourself is your peers and classmates. Communicating with them is very helpful because everyone understands subject matters in a different way and a different style of understanding. So having a discussion via Blackboard, email, or any social media you might have will help you deepen your understanding of that subject. And again, when it comes to asking for help, don't be afraid. Sometimes you just need to do it to get it over with and say, hey, I need help. And then we are more than willing to give you the help you need. Mindset. When it comes to thinking of a class, going into a class thinking the same old thing will give you the same old results. Thinking negatively and going into a test or a class is more than likely going to give you a very bad grade. Instead of thinking positively, saying, hey, I got the help I needed, I took the notes, I did the extra credit, I did all the assignments, I'm ready for this. Thinking positively going into a test is more likely to give you a higher grade than otherwise. And now our subject is scary subjects. Everyone has that scary subject. For me, it was English and math. They were terrifying for me. I did not want to do them, but you just have to get them done. And one of the things I've learned is you don't want to leave those scary subjects for last. All that does is increases your stress of you worrying about that final scary subject instead of getting them out of the way and getting that stress out of mind. Getting them done earlier than later helps end your college career on a higher note instead of just waiting for that dreaded class. And all we ever ask is for you to try your best because you can do it. We know you can. The Learning Commons. Who are we? We're actually 3 different parts. The first part is the tutoring services, where we are a group of peer and professional tutors who are willing to help you understand the course material and any questions you might have. There's reading, writing, and speech assistants. They are a group of people who are great at reading through papers and essays, and you can take your paper or essay to them at any point in time of the process, and they will help you find grammar errors you may have missed. Math assistants is another group of amazing people who will help you understand math formulas, equations, and help you find the solution for those problems. Again, our services are completely free to you. Don't feel afraid to reach out. You can find us via Blackboard of the Student Support tab. And once you click the Student Support tab, you'll see that we're on the right-hand side. You have both the links to our COD web pages and our links to our drop-in sessions. Or if you're going through the COD website, you can just type in Learning Commons, and it's going to be the first result and the featured result. Here is all the links and ways to contact the different Learning Commons department. If there's any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're more than welcome to answer them at any time. And I thank you for listening to this video. I hope you all have a great fall.